So, Manchester United's new sign-in, Patrick Dorgu, has made his debut against Leicester City in the FA Cup. Let's have a closer look. Without any further ado, let's analyze. Okay, so the first thing that has impressed me with Patrick Dorgu is his aggression and athleticism on the wings. And speaking as a Manchester United fan, when was the last time we saw that? Maybe Antonio Valencia. And of course, I'm not comparing him to Tony Valencia, not at all, but I think that he brought that same intensity. And in fact, Ruben Amorim, when he was asked what would Patrick Dorgu bring to Manchester United, Ruben Amorim said intensity. In fact, Patrick Dorgu himself, in his interview with Manchester United after signing for the club, also said intensity. And I think we saw that. The way he attacked the ball, the way he won those ground and aerial duels, I think that defensively he was sound. The other thing that has impressed me about Patrick Dorgu is just how tough he is to handle for the opposition. He's so athletic that the opposition defenders are usually scared of having to deal with him if he runs into the spaces behind them. So they usually just foul him instead of having to deal with the threat that he brings, especially with his pace and his athleticism. And that's great from a tactical standpoint, and especially when you play against stubborn teams, stubborn defenses. Drawing in those fouls in those half spaces and in the opposition's final third could actually be quite crucial in just breaking them down and just scoring that goal that eventually leads to them opening up so that you can carve them open later on. So again, I think that this is a great thing that Patrick Dorgu brings to Manchester United tactically. Now, even though it's been a questionable choice from Ruben Amorim to play Dorgu on the right instead of on the left, I thought that him and Ahmad, for the most part, there were certain instances where had Ahmad released the ball a little bit earlier, Dorgu could have had a much bigger impact. But I think that Ahmad and Dorgu, it's interesting. It's interesting. And I think that there is potential for a flourishing partnership right there between two highly talented youngsters. This one, put it into the case of let's wait and see. We don't know what Ruben Amorim's plan is, but it looks promising. Also, Dorgu didn't just stay on the wings. In fact, there were a few instances where he stepped into that midfield role, especially whenever players like Kobbie Mainoo would actually drop deep in order to be involved with the build-up play. Dorgu would actually step inside, and there were a few instances where he executed some really well-executed dribbles, including a nutmeg. There were a few instances where he could have launched Kobbie Mainoo into space. He was actually quite dynamic, both on the wings, but also through the middle. And that ability to move into space and that off-the-ball movement and the ability to roam into positions and adapt to play certain roles as the team needs them, as the game unfolds, that's actually a very good skill to have for a modern-day player. And Patrick Dorgu has shown those tendencies. And then finally, in classic wingback fashion, Patrick Dorgu was also a speed demon who was threatening on the wings. And he did his part, he did his bit, and he was probably the most direct I've seen a wingback be for Manchester United since Amad Diallo played in that position. And that's just testament to how dynamic Patrick Dorgu was, and this is quite a promising cameo for him. Can't wait to see more. All right, so now let's talk about the elephant in the room, which is Ruben Amorim deciding to play Patrick Dorgu on the right. Now, before I talk about that, I just have to say the following. Those of you who have been following me for 2 years now may know this, but with Erik ten Hag, I've been extremely supportive of him for 2 years. And it's only this season that I became a little more critical of what Erik ten Hag was doing. Because, in my mind, it takes about 2 seasons for a manager's vision to come into fruition. These things take time. And also, my other guiding principle is that even though I do know a lot of things about football and I'm passionate about this game, and I love talking about it and I love studying it, I am still humble enough to understand that I don't know more about football than the people whose livelihood depends on football. People who every single day, for the majority of their life, has been dedicated to football. And so with Ruben Amorim, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I know better than him. He has his reasons as to why he played Dorgu on the right. Nobody on YouTube, no account on Twitter knows better than Ruben Amorim. So the only approach that I can have with this to this question is to just wait and see, but also accepting the fact that managers live and die by their decisions. In other words, Ruben Amorim has the right. He's earned that right to try things out. Okay? He needs time for his vision to come into fruition. However, at the same time, with great power comes great responsibility. So the choices that he makes today, either they are going to lead to positive results in the near future, or they're going to lead to negative results. And Ruben Amorim, just like Erik ten Hag, is going to be paying for the decisions that he's made. However, now Ruben Amorim deserves to have the opportunity to make those tactical decisions. So why did he do that? I cannot tell you. What was the point of playing Dalot on the left as opposed to the right? I don't know. All I know is that in his Sporting team, on the right-hand side, he had the likes of Trincao and Quenda, both of whom were left-footed, playing on the right. Even on the left, sometimes you would have Gini Katamo as a wing-back and Pedro Gonçalves as left-sided number 10, who is more similar to Mason Mount, both of whom are right-footed. And sometimes you would play these four players in the same team, in effect having two left-footed players on the right and two right-footed players on the left. And it worked for him. So I don't know. What is he trying to do? We cannot see it for now. Once we see it, I'm going to show it to you in one of my post-match analysis. However, currently, I don't know. I don't know why is he doing it. I'm not going to speculate. And we're going to have to wait and see. That's all I can say about this. All right, guys, so let me know in the comment section below. First of all, what do you think about Patrick Dorgu's cameo from Manchester United against Leicester? And also, what do you think about Ruben Amorim's tactical decisions? How would you do things differently if you were Ruben Amorim? Please give the video a like if you like it. Until next time, cheers.